Today is Friday, March 1st of 2024. We did a couple trades here in our main option trading account. First up top, you see we added to our ES position by selling the ES April 19th $55 cash put option. Got $1.05 per share for that. So we'll start up here in the top right chart, the hourly chart. We see that Eversource Energy is now trading above the red 200 moving average, so we like that. It's a nice bullish sign. Also trading above this green 50 moving average on the daily chart, which is also right at an area that we expect to find support because it was resistance back in here in the end of July. And over the past several weeks, we see buyers have definitely shown the most strength. Today was a decently average volume bar, right on average actually, and we see nice legs where the sellers sold it down and buyers bought it back up, but again, still finding support along that green 50 moving average. Now looking over here at the weekly chart, you see a word of caution that overall, we do still see that ES is in an overall downtrend. However, about a month and a half, 2 months ago, it approached an area that served as support for back here in October and November in the fall of last year, and it served as support for it again. So now it's like ES has got to decide, is probably going to try and go for this area of resistance right here, which is the green 50 moving average on the weekly chart, and also resistance back in here early January as well as in mid-December. So we'll have to see if it does that. As of right now, looks like that's the most likely thing it will do, but just remember, it can't always come down and test this area right in here around 56 for support, and if that holds, then so be it. But if it doesn't, the next area of major support will be right down here around the $53 area. All right, so that's our ES position. All right, then we're in a covered call on PSA, and we bought to close the March 15th 270 covered call and rolled it up and out to June 21st 280 and still walked away with a credit of $2.70 per share. So this is a stock that we were assigned quite a ways back and assigned higher, a lot higher than where it's at now. It had come down and we've been working this position. So with public storage, looking like it's going to find support and hold support around this 272 area, I decided to roll that cover call up from right here. It was pretty well in the money, about $12 or so. Got it rolled up to right at the money, so I like that. Notice over here on the weekly chart that it pushed, although it wasn't a downtrend and finding resistance on the green 50 moving average, going back to middle of December, it pushed through the green 50 and red 200 moving average on nice volume. And now it came down and is kind of finding support around those moving averages. Interesting, it's not riding them, it's kind of trading amongst them. So this week was pretty high volume. It traded below those moving averages, then by the end of the week, it was back up. So interesting that on a high volume, buyers came in and supported. It was a red volume bar because it was a down week, slightly down. It's like at 0.86, $2.44 for the week. But buyers supported it when it got pushed down in that 272 area. So in case it continues to go up, and maybe this is we made a new higher high here. So in case it's the higher low, we want to go ahead and reposition ourselves to the higher strike price. So happy to get that rolled up and rolled out. Now I figure we just take a look at the overall market, the S&P 500. So we see for the going back, you don't see this very often. It's a very strong March here. Notice over here on our weekly chart, a little easier. Now, actually, I'm going to switch to a bigger chart here. And this is the monthly chart, so interesting to see higher high. If it were to roll over and come back down, I'd probably test this area right in here around 481. This is the S&P SPY. But let's switch over here to the weekly chart. So notice here, looking at this weekly chart, you don't get very often where you get as strong a March as we see here going back to, let's see, what was that? Going back to November. So really strong March here. The market's up just over that time frame over the past 4 months. It's up 25%. Doesn't happen very often. We see it did that in COVID. See a nice little bounce here going to 2019, but that move was 22% before it kind of retraced a little bit. So overall, we're seeing a very strong bull market here, reaching higher highs, and the price to earnings, if I remember correctly, it's right about 24. So very high price to earnings for the overall market. Some people say it's justified because of AI. Some people say it's not. But overall, looking at the history of the market, it is extremely overvalued. So we'll just have to see how long this market runs. Just keep in mind that the markets can stay irrational longer than people can stay solvent if you're betting against it and you don't have enough cash to support you. So just keep that in mind. Just because the market should come down doesn't mean it's going to come down next week. It could continue higher. So that's all of our trades for today and for this week, and I hope you have a great weekend.